EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. He said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest vibe. Challenge accepted. It's me. I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stressing. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All these lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting just so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like bowling at prank call strikes don't gutter. Attracted to the mind but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the channel. I am Mrs. Best. I am thy one who hosts B3ST Reviews. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. If you've been here before, shout out to the replay gang, Thug Life as we stay. Thank you for being here. We're here to go over 90 Day The Single Life, the tell-all part 2. There's a lot to say. But first, let's welcome Mr. Oso Tenda. He's dancing. He's dancing. Shout out to Mr. Oso Tenda, a.k.a. Oso B3ST, creator of B3ST Entertainment. That is his song that plays on the intro. It's called Let's Fucking Collab from Tenderly Manifested, the EP. So you guys should check it out. It's a great song. Maybe I'll play it at the end of this live so you can hear the whole thing and, you know, in its totality. Anywho, he said, it is I, thy one, no duplicate. Anywho, I'm quoting Oso Best songs. We are going to get right into this tell-all because it was quite a lot. So we left off with Miss Debbie getting at Chantel and the cast getting at her about her choice to broadcast the fact that she was running around Greece with no draws. Now, I kind of aligned with what they were saying to her, but it felt like they were more so just trying to make her look crazy publicly. I think that a lot of this cast is intimidated or just a little bit jealous of the fact that Chantel has had her own spinoff. Her drama has been successful where theirs has not really been that way. I don't think they really care about that. I just don't. Miss Debbie running around Miami, but mad about Chantel. Miami's full of naked people. My best friend used to live there, so I know. But she's basically scolding Chantel about her outfit, the things she wore, announcing to the world that she was wearing no drawers. And that's when Chantel's mom, Crazy Karen, Miss Karen Nasty, as it is on IG, comes out. And Chantel smacks her mom's ass when she comes out to make a point. Like, my mama don't care about this. And Miss Karen, I think that she does care, but understands that you can't control your children. People are going to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, her child is educated, was a wife, and has a lot of class about her, but having that class is not what's worked out for her. So she wants to try something different and have fun. Miss Debbie says that Chantel should care. Chantel and her mother should care that Chantel is sending a better message out there for herself versus this is my body, I'm on display, like I have more to offer. I agree. I do think a lot of the reason a lot of women, especially of younger generations or in today's world, struggle is because you giving and showing everything that would usually be a secret. So there's like nothing special for your partner, whoever that is. Like there's nothing left if everyone else has seen your goodies. What's special for them? They just get to taste them or feel them, you know? Anywho, basically, Debbie's doubled down on this. Feels Chantel should not broadcast her body. Says that she's a treasure and doesn't need to do that, which is true. We saw Tim tell her that your face in itself could pull people. You're beautiful, so you don't have to do these things, which I appreciated that though they did get at her for her outfit and scold her a little bit, they also reminded her like of her worth and her value. She doesn't. Chantel is beautiful. I also appreciated how everybody said what I had said when I was doing my recaps, and y'all could go rewatch my recaps in the TLC playlist. Her friends were a big problem. Your friends should never just push you to go out there to be thoughting and trotting and thoughting and plotting and being popular or a hoe, whatever the hell you want to call it, of your generation. Your friends should not push you to do that. If my friends know, and my friends do know, I'm a relationship kind of gal. Like, even if I'm single, my friends have always been like, well, Amina's not going to just go talk to anybody. We got to find somebody she could actually make a connection with. Like, and they respected that. Chantel seems, in my opinion, like a relationship girl. You know what I mean? So I feel like her friends should have pushed her to do that versus pushing her to wear no drawers, get 5 numbers, and to sleep with somebody. It's like, let her figure that out on her own. So I will say that. Now, they move on to discuss Giannis. Giannis is the Greek guy who Chantel was talking to on the show. They built a connection. He sent her home with flowers, all of this. And he's supposed to come to America to visit Chantel. Wow, after the show. So they show the clips, and I don't know why the clips of Giannis, all the kissing between him and Chantel, while it's like it's exciting and hot and steamy for her, I felt like it was a telltale that this man would never commit to her and just want to hit, if y'all know what I mean. Because it didn't seem like they had a connection outside of that. There wasn't much that they talked about. There seemed to be, the language barrier seemed to really impact them. And I know you can find love regardless of that. Obviously, if you watch 90 Day, anything, you know that. But it didn't seem like there was a connection outside of attraction, in my opinion. And Chantel's a little ditzy. I also felt that way with Pedro, and she still married him. So, But we find out that Chantel and Giannis are still talking. But she still refers to herself as single because he has not been to the U.S. to visit her, and they haven't progressed further. And Chantel mentions mentions around Giannis the fact that she has a cheap, I call it cheap, a little cheap materialistic playlist. 6 foot tall, washboard abs, well and down, like shit that's materialistic that matters, but not so much. And Miss Debbie explains what we're all thinking. Honey, all of those things, a man can meet every box of your shallow ass checklist and he still won't be the one for you or that'll make you happy. You have to find who you have a connection with. And just because it didn't work with Pedro doesn't mean that it could be that way with others. Miss Debbie also says you had that in Pedro because Pedro was attractive, had abs, all these things, but look where that ended up. So Giannis then comes on a screen and we see him. He joins virtually to the tell-all. And Mama Karen is asking him all sorts of questions. His age, how long, if you got siblings, the soccer, the schedule. And they mentioned Karen not wanting Chantel to bring home a man with a visa. And Giannis pretty much felt like she should help him to get it. And then when asked about the dress that Chantel was wearing, because they're still fucking talking about her dress for whatever reason, he says that he felt like she should dress how she likes to dress, but he didn't seem to care for her pantyless dress. He liked it, obviously, like Tim and John was saying that. Like, of course he liked it, and that's probably why he was so physically on her with the kissing and the touching and all of that, because he's seen her in that dress. So, I just think because he's from a different country, he's not going to, express that in the way that we're used to in American culture for those who are American. But, yeah, the dress obviously sent the wrong message, and this is the proof about that. Do me a favor too, you guys, like the video. If you are still here, I know I've just been yapping away, but like the video. I appreciate you. It's an easy and free way to support the channel. So basically, make long story short, Giannis basically explains that he cannot make any promises about visiting Chantel, but says that he will eventually visit America. That's another red flag. Like, if he wanted to come, he'd come. And my thing is, you're a professional soccer player, so I know that you're going all over the world. So I know that you have a way to get here. That's my opinion. Giannis says it's easier for Chantel to come to him. And the cast is like, of course, like it's classic playing. Like she's obviously being played, but she does not see that. Basically, Giannis has not even researched the visa. He hasn't looked into it. He's done absolutely zero anything and has made no effort into coming to America. And again, he's a professional soccer player. I'm sure that he comes here sometimes for games, scrimmages, whatever the fuck happens in soccer, because soccer is loved worldwide. So can't see you being a professional soccer player and not traveling all over and having a passport, just saying. And it's not like you're trying to get a permanent visa. You just need a temporary visa to visit. That should be a lot easier, Giannis. So figure it through, figure it out. So Chantel's new single life comes up to where they're showing the video of her trying to date and figure it out. And she gets emotional. She says she still wants to believe in love and everybody's kind of getting at her. And I think that was necessary. I think she needed to hear a lot of what the cast said. I don't like that they all kind of ganged up on her, but you're not going to find your husband in the club dressed with no panties. And if you do, it may not work out unless you're a Mia Thornton from RHOP. But yeah, I don't understand why she broke down, but she did break down She wants to still believe in love, and she leaves the stage, which to me was the worst thing she could have done if she wanted to find love with Giannis, because that shows you're not over anything, or you have a lot of work to do on yourself as a person before you can get to dating. So, the cast basically asked Giannis some things, and he says he agrees that Chantel is not ready for a relationship. And I think that's fair. It's better to know that she's not ready than to try and force her into it or date her and it not work or ruin a good connection or friendship. Like, why have the drama if you can avoid it? So I get that. And I agree, Chantel's not ready to date. This felt more like TLC was like, give us something, and she needs to keep a check. So she comes back on stage, and Giannis explains to Chantel that he's going to need time before getting into a relationship. Or explains that Chantel needs time before she should be in a relationship, and that's what's making him take his time on dating her. And Chantel disagrees and says that exploring new relationships is part of healing. Yes, it is, but not when you're wasting an innocent person's time, or you'll never know the connection's real because they're the first person right after the marriage. Like, I wouldn't want to be Giannis either, because that's normally like the one night stand. You just broke up. I'm the first person you've dealt with, and look at how this shit is going. So I don't know. Giannis does say a lot. And when they have lunch on the stage, the cast lets Chantel know that he's likely not interested or coming to America. And Chantel gets upset about this, especially when her mom says, listen, it's just like Pedro. All he did was lie. All he do is lie. He's going to lie. Two things. I don't think Giannis is a liar. I think he's smart. Just because we see a woman on TV that we know and have felt sorry for, because Pedro he wasn't shit. He wasn't. But just because we saw her go through that doesn't mean that every man she talks to is not shit. Giannis does not owe Chantel a thing. She came to his country to visit. He tried to talk to her, show her these things, but he wasn't consistent out there. One time we saw her in an episode complaining of how he's not giving her attention or anything. I think that he's been very clear with what he wants, but I think that Chantel's heartbreak is clouding that because she just wants to have someone new. But the things that she said and did, the way she behaved on the show, I wouldn't want to date her either. She did look a little thirsty. And it's like, you don't have to be that thirsty. If I have Drake in my DMs, allegedly, listen, I'm not going to be that thirsty. So I don't know. I don't blame Giannis at all, but I do think Chantel also gets mad at the truth. So I'll leave that there. We then move to the mess that is Natalie. Natalie irks me. I don't like her. I feel like she's the worst excuse for a woman. If she's not a gold digger, because I won't put that on her permanently, then she's definitely one of those women who follows the old beliefs that women used to have years and years and years and decades ago, where, the man provides and takes care of you and you just live your dream, do work as a teacher or, women like roles, things of that nature. It seems like she feels a man is supposed to provide her with the things that she needs. So that's my issue with Natalie. Now, Natalie had Josh and she's still married to Michael. I feel like she left Michael because he couldn't do nothing for her financially or for her little dream of being an actress. I feel like she got with Josh because of what he does. I don't think she actually likes him or is fully attracted to him. I just don't. But we get to, she said, is this a show I need to check out? 90 Day Fiance to Single Life. It's just weird to me, Shayna. It's very, very weird that people go searching for someone they can't communicate with to date. You might check it out, especially as a creator. You'd probably get a good following on it. There's not many people recapping 90 Day, at least not properly, in my opinion. So get into it. You guys should check out Shayna_MCD. She does panels. She's got recaps just like me. Support other creators, especially the pretty chocolate ones. Let's go. But yeah, Natalie is a gold digger. She get on my fucking nerves. She just does. And we learned that Natalie has finally discovered that LA, Los Angeles, for those who don't know, California is expensive as hell. A one-bedroom apartment, the average is about $1,900 to $2,000. Natalie's dumbass has figured out that moving from Florida to California with no job is expensive. And she also says that it's not about having talent. It's about who you know to get into the industry. She thought she could just walk into, casting calls and stuff and audition for shows. Like, it does not work worth a damn. Like, you have to know someone. California's always been like that. Everybody knows somebody. Shayna says TLC has so many 90 Day spinoffs. They have too many. This show, the tell-all is like their reunion. I'm out. I'm done, just about. But there's 90 Day Happily Ever After. There was 90 Day Diaries. There's 90 Day The Other Way. There's 90, like, it's so many. And I know my 90 Day fans are like, cover more, Mrs. Best. But I have to watch shows for James. I got to watch shows for this. Then I got song reviews. I'm like, 90 Day has so many spinoffs. And they're all doing well, which is weird. I think probably because it's something different. Anywho, y'all, Natalie basically, we see her break up with Josh, which was a long time coming. I personally feel like she broke up with him before he broke up with her, because his friends was like, you're being used, bro. And shout out to his friends for that, because Natalie is the type of bitch that will use you. But she basically says that she got with Josh to find healing. She didn't want to be hurt. How do you find healing with a new nigga? That's not how you get over a breakup, one. And then two, she is still married to Michael. And she tried to run right back to Michael when Josh cut her off with the spending and said, I don't want to be with you. She ran right back to Michael for his money and to be with him. Pick me, asshole. I can't stand that. It drives me crazy. It's like, oh, that's like, I'm not with him no more, so I need to find who's going to take care of me and mom next. I'm alone in this country. You know how many fucking people are alone in this country? Do you? Oh, thank you. My husband gave me candy, y'all. It's the little things. Made my whole day. And he brought Mexican food. This is a good man. Get you an Also Best, but don't, because I'll come after you. But anywho, Natalie's just a hot mess. She don't know what she wants. How you can't find healing while you're still married to the next one. Get a divorce, finalize that, and then find healing. That's what's going to work better for you. So we find out that when Josh comes out, they're still cool, because he comes out, gives her a kiss. You could tell he was probably in that thing last night, like, yeah, and I'm going to be treating you right, too. I'm going to let the world know I'm interested. He was probably tearing that little blonde thing up. I'm trying to tell y'all. And he came on the stage like, I'm going to prove something to her. I'm going to show I care, gave her a kiss. And we're like, wait, y'all broken up. So he explains he and Natalie are still close friends and says that she slept with him last night. He says, oh, she slept over. Why do people kiss and tell? Unless it's like something where you're like, by the by, this person cheated on you and you need to know. Like, I don't like when people kiss and tell. But Natalie wasn't going to let us know that she and Josh are cool. She was trying to be on TV looking, you know, like, oh, I'm not dealing with him, looking independent. Because I know she reads the comments, because she limits them on Instagram. So I know she reads the comments and what people thinks of her. She ain't slick. She thought we wasn't going to know she's still dealing with Josh. She going to deal with Josh. She absolutely is going to deal with Josh. And Josh knows that. He fucking knows it. He's not innocent either. So Caesar and Debbie come out, and they are from season 3 of 90 Day Single Life. And I don't understand why 90 Day does this. They'll bring out people who have nothing to do with the cast, nothing to do with the storyline, wasn't on the show, who are on other 90 Days. Like we saw the other guy from 90 Day The Other Way, who claimed he slept with 2,500 women. Ain't no way in hell you had that much, Cuddy. Ain't no way in hell you slept with that many people. I don't believe it. But now we have Caesar and Debbie out here. They had issues with Josh and Natalie at the previous tell-all last season. And I just didn't see the point in seeing them. But them being there is interesting, because that lady next to Caesar, she was telling people about themselves. So the next thing we find out, and I'm sorry, y'all, because you know Natalie's segment's a mess, so you know I'm going to be everywhere. We find out that while broken up, Natalie and Josh got back in contact because Natalie got in a car accident with the car that he purchased for her. I'll be damned if I purchase a bitch car just for her to wreck it. And in the fucking car accident, because of it, Natalie called Josh, and that's how they got back in contact. So she was like, we're broken up, but you're still going to help me, which leads me to believe, and I could be digging a little bit too deep, but it leads me to believe that this car is still in Josh's name. I don't think he put it in her name, because why else would she need to call if she get in an accident? Hell, I'm married. Our names are on our cars in my household. If I get in a car accident, I'm going to call my insurance company, maybe the police, and then my husband. So I'm just like, it can't be in her name if she's doing all of that. But that's the reason why they get back in contact, because she needed help and he helped her. And I'm like, okay, so you feel comfortable to call him, but not to be with him. You just want Josh for the things that he does to you. Natalie doesn't understand that she does look like she has a sugar daddy, which we'll get to next. But she complains. She's like, me and Josh could not be. I still don't know where he lives. I cannot say the status that we are. Natalie, in America, we call it just fucking. This means that you guys are literally just having sex. A sneaky link. What else you call it? A side piece, whatever the hell you want to call it. Friends with benefits. Y'all are just fucking. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. And he's probably doing stuff for her, purchasing her stuff when they do it, because he don't want to feel like he's just playing her, because it seems like it's foreign to Josh to be that way. But I think they just fucking, personally. And I was dying because John chimes in, who has said he's a fuck boy. That's what he do. And he even goes, Natalie, what we're trying to say to you, he'll hit it. He'll have sex with you. He'll buy you something here and there. He ain't going to marry you, though. And I could not agree more. I know there'll be a proposal at this tell-all. I'm not sure who it is. If it's Josh, I'm going to throw my remote. But I don't think he'll marry her either. How you going to marry a bitch who never met your kid and you don't want her to know where you live? You don't want her to know where you live. And his excuse to not want Natalie to know where he lives, he says he doesn't want that drama or energy in his space or around his kids. She does behave like a fucking child. She throws temper tantrums when she doesn't get her way. I wouldn't want that in my house either. At least he can escape the bitch if he's just hitting it and don't let her know where she can't find him. She can't pop up. She can't do anything. So I actually think he's smart for that. Josh doesn't deny it, though, when John says this, which was very telling. And I don't know if Natalie's connecting the dots. So we then move on, y'all, to the scene where we see Josh's business partners and friends talking to him about Natalie. He asked them, like, what do you guys think of the situation? And they were vocal. They're like, she's needy. She's rude. She does too much. She's taking up too much of your time. It's impacting the business and you. Nothing positive. And they explain, because his friends, they explain that basically he's been spending too much money on her and she's not self-sufficient at all. And that's a turnoff. No one wants, you can be the nicest person in the world. If you're not self-sufficient, what the fuck are you doing? Y'all think I just got time to be here on YouTube? My husband is the one who primarily works and handles the bills and all of those things. But he knows, and I know, that if needed to be or I needed to go to work, I could do the same thing. Self-sufficiency doesn't always mean you're just doing for yourself entirely, but you should have the ability to be that way. And Natalie was missing that point. His friends also said that Josh has a habit of dating women who are considered projects. That he has to help them. Captain Save-A-Ho, that's what he likes. They double down on this and she gets upset, but they did have some points. Just because people don't like what, they said or don't like Josh doesn't mean that what these people said was not true. I absolutely believe it is true. He has a habit, obviously, and his friends knows of dating women similar to her. And there are lots of women like her who think that a man is just supposed to literally be their knight in shining armor, and it's not always that way. But she gets upset, and I can't help but also remind her, Natalie, you didn't even know to bring a fucking resume to a job. You didn't even bring a resume. You moved to California on camera. You forget that we watched you with the intention of Josh finding you job, Josh finding you house, Josh finding you car. You got mad at him because he didn't want to put his credit with your credit while you're still married to somebody else. The fuck? It just doesn't make any sense. She has no accountability at all. There's just several things wrong with this woman. So Josh then brings up a good point as well. He says Natalie moved to LA because of her acting career. She said it on the show. I moved to the city of my dreams, LA. And Josh also made it clear that he did not want her to just move there for only him. She said she wanted to come for acting. He was like, well, I'll help you. And that's all she talked about. In the beginning, if you go back and watch the season, was getting her acting career in order versus, and who Josh knows, movie producer she could pitch to, versus caring about seeing her being with him. Like, come on, Natalie. Anywho, I do believe a lot of what Josh says is what I'm trying to say, y'all. Like, I feel like Josh is not the best guy, but I do feel like he's tried to make it as clear as you can to someone, like, this what we doing, we just fucking, maybe it'll go somewhere, maybe it won't. But Natalie's like, I want more. I want the check. Where's your child? I wouldn't want someone who acts like a child to meet my child either. I just would not. Anywho, so Josh's business partners come out and double down on everything that they said in the video about her being needy and demanding. They say she's not so much rude, but they say she is needy and demanding. And his business partners explain to the cast who tries to jump down their throat, listen, it's not like we was just out here talking shit about this hoe. We were asked the question and answered it. And Josh is a good guy. He does a lot, they say, for other people. He's a giver. And I don't think that just because Natalie slept over the night before that he has to define what that is, because there's nothing to define. And he's made that very clear. She's trying to force him into giving her a title. And if he don't want to give you a title, he don't have to give you a title. My dad always taught me before dating, he was like, never chase a nigga. And remember this, if a man wants you, you're going to know. If a man want to make you his, you're going to know. Natalie, if this man wanted to be with you, he would be with you. It's really that simple. And vice versa. If it was a woman, if someone wants to be with you, they're going to be with you. I don't know how many bat signals or SOS need to be sent to her, but she seems to be missing that. She didn't understand what a sugar daddy is either. Veronica had to explain it. And that's when Natalie got really upset because she equated it like, you're basically calling me a hoe. That's basically what a sugar baby is, though, except a lot of them don't end up having to have sex. Or if they do, it's so short that it don't count. That's exactly what it is. If you don't want to be called a gold digger, a sugar baby, or anything like that, Natalie, then stop dating people for what they can do for you and date them for if you actually like them. That's where I'll leave that. But we'll see what happens more on the next recap. I thought that this would be like a 2-episode. I really did, but apparently it is more than 2 episodes. We are going to be getting a 90-day tell-all part 3. So I will be back again this time next week to go over the next part. There's still so much we have to go over. We haven't got into John and Megan. I feel like they're getting the more boring people out the way first, like Tyray. He didn't have much of a storyline. Chantel, no shade. She's just a dingbat, but she didn't have much of a storyline. Natalie does. So that's why we're getting Natalie this episode and next episode. And then we still have to get into John and Megan. So I am curious to see how that goes. I'm sure it's going to be a lot if they're saving these people for last. But we still have a lot that we're going to get into. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in, rocking with thy channel, supporting us. Thousands of appreciations, as my spouse says. We are going to end this video by listening to that intro song, which I told you we would play. It is by Oso Best, aka Mr. Oso Tenda, if he's making a beat. This is from his EP titled Tenderly Manifested with Bay Area artist B Money Be Manifested. We're going to listen to the song that opens up our lives called Let's Fucking Collab. The next live that I will have will be a song review. For those who like music, we'll be doing a song review tonight. We do song reviews every Tuesday, and we also do them on Wednesdays sometimes. So we will have a song review later on this evening. If you are an independent artist, know someone who's an independent artist, send your shit in. We will happily play it. Other than that, like thy video, comment your opinion so I can respond. I appreciate y'all and have thy best night. Enjoy the song.
With the play upon the be money, man. Welcome to our first EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest challenges with it. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me to stress it. Got G-O-D on me side. Oh, he blessed me. All the lies they tell it's so vexing. Them acting is so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut, then you're part of my team. Just like bowling half pike, golf strikes don't gutter. Attracted to the mind, but I like mine's hotter. She gotta have a pretty face too, no butter. I wonder how she age. Look at her mother. My favorite color's green, but I'll settle for blue. Check until I can't see, I'm only 5'2". Who the fuck made this shit on that track? Meaning if I'm on it, just the shit slap. I'm from the town, she from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. Said we said we all should look. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. We don't should play, bro. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest buzz wins the night.
Every day we find the silver lining in our life platinum. Lately, how we blinding with our light, we got them that numb. Me and us so speeding on the beat, they call us phantom. No, I'm not a player, how a layer call me stratum. I'm just trying to break bread like split an atom. God gave me all this weight, why? So I can splat them. Lately, how I'm new with my cleats, I'm an atom. When it come down to my ball, I'm really bad. When it come down to my plays, I'm never lagging. They keep the real ones in the cage like they don't matter. When they get out, they just go back like they don't matter. We trying to bring the system down, Mad Hatter. Don't ask why we never round, we be dancers. Lately, how we holding it all down, call us plaster. With these dimes, we really blowing mine, but we don't splatter. Damn, how y'all make it to the top, we don't like ladders.
I'm from the town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. Said we said we are your look. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. We don't should play, bro. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest buzz wins the night.
Pull up with the mix quick, got the drip like Ness quick. Acting picky choosy, but we platinum, we the best pick. Lately how we rockin' every roll, we got the best pick. Lately how we got them tuned in, we be the best nick. Money. Yeah, what's up, Oso? From the town to the D, going crazy. What you mean? What you think? Me and Oso, we got it.